Man, Shinto is thirsty. Look at that dude.
Hello everyone, this is an analysis of the set Flame of Laevateinn for the Dragon class. For any other classes, you can find them in the playlist. Alright, let's start off with the first card. Just a reminder guys, I won't be reading every card's effect word by word because that will take too long. I'll just summarize the effect, summarize the pros and the cons, and summarize where the card stands in the meta, foresee in the meta. So first of all, you have Jabberwock, the 7 mana 7/7. Alright stats, alright stats for his mana cost. It can cheat out big and strong followers, but it's very gimmicky. And you have to build the deck around this card, and can be very tricky, and it makes the deck very one-dimensional, where this seems to be your only win con, your only way to get ahead of your opponent. And due to its high cost 7 mana, you either have to set up your followers before dropping him, you need to set up and ensure that your followers will survive, or you need a cheap followers to summon during the same turn as you summon Jabberwock, which your remaining mana would be 3. So yeah, kind of like a restriction for your deck, meaning that if you're playing like 4-drop or 5-drop followers, it's not very good. It's not going to be very good with Jabberwock. This card, right? I'm already seeing people, testing out decks with Jabberwock. I still find it very gimmicky. Playable or not really depends on how the meta shapes out, because it do cheat up very weird followers, but it makes the deck very one-dimensional, as I have said. So that's one thing to take note about this card. I think people will be testing it, but I think it might fall off very soon after people realize, this deck can be easily countered due to how one-dimensional it is. Yeah, so let's move on to the next one. Laevateinn Dragon, the poster child for this set. So this is also our first time to see that a 2 evolve form for a single card, which is very interesting. Both forms are very decent removers. So for the first one, we have Laevateinn Dragon Evolved. It has direct attack, and since it's evolved, it will have rush, meaning you could be removing any stand followers, and 6 attack is enough to remove a lot of the followers currently in the meta, other than Fairy Tail. You do recover 2 play point, which actually was a very weird thing for me, where what would the 2 play point be used for? I think they would want you to play defensively with this card, where you do have the extra 2 play point to cast a quick spell to protect against your opponent during your opponent's next turn. So I guess that's why they want the 2 play point, because all the spell are 2 play points. Meanwhile, the attack mode Laevateinn Dragon, the evolve, you can choose an enemy follower, deal 4 damage to it, and deal 3 damage to its leader phase. For the stat 7/5, it's much easier to remove. 5 is a number that can be removed right now. But dealing 4 damage is still very efficient at removing stuff, and dealing the 3 damage to its leader is actually quite a good tempo swing. Yeah, so both are decent. Not very impressive, but both are decent evolve. And it makes Arm Dragon very tempo rich, which I think this card fits perfectly into what Arm Dragon is trying to do. Yeah, so let's move on to the next one. So Red Rage Worm, 3 mana 0/5. If you act this card plus 5 attack, which is very good, because I don't care about the overflow, because you're not going to play him on turn on 7 mana cost. At 7 mana cost, you'd rather just forte a hit face. Because once you reach 7 mana, 5 HP can be easily removed. What I like about this card is if you play on 3 mana and you tap it, this card is almost impossible to remove for a lot of the class. And if there's any class, and those class that can remove, most of the time it is a very efficient trade, such as Dragon Warrior. Only Dragon Warrior can remove it. But the only person the only class that hard counter this card will be Forest, where Forest will just bounce this card back, and you will lose quite a lot of tempo with Rose Gardener or Ancient Flash. Yeah. But other than that, it is a very good stat, and I can see this being played in aggro dragon, because it is just so sturdy, and hitting for 5 the next turn is actually very scary. 5 damage is quite a lot of damage. So if there is a aggro dragon deck, this card will see play. Next, Draconia Knuckle Dragon. One of the main protagonists, Pet. I guess I don't really watch the anime, so yeah, it's just like Ash with Pikachu, I guess. It is a stronger version of the Dragon Warrior, in my opinion. It does require a little bit of setup, but if you're playing Arm Dragon, you have no problem hitting that condition of having another allied arm follower on the field. So this card is a lot stronger than Dragon Warrior, because a lot of cards right now are at 3 mana at 4 HP. So I think this will replace Dragon Warrior if you're playing the Arm archetype. Yeah. So I will see this card being played, and it's definitely a 3 of a base. Next, you have Tilting at Windmill. This card can help to cheat out high cost followers. Very, very gimmicky again. But follower die at the beginning of the end phase. And the bad thing is you need 1 turn to set up. And at 6 mana, you're leaving yourself open to Forte, leaving yourself open to Augury Cap. So I don't know why you would do that. It's a very, very bad card in my opinion. And if let's say you do not want to waste 1 turn to set it up, you're gonna play this on turn 9, which begs the question, why not just play the follower at that point? I mean, yeah. So, and for the this is just a bad card in general. No one's. I don't think. Okay, I wouldn't say I don't think. I highly doubt anybody will be playing this card. Next, Master of Draconic Arts. So what I don't like about this card is its base stat is very, very weak. 3 mana 2/4. If it was a 3 mana 2/5, I would much prefer it. But the thing is, once you reach Overflow, this card becomes actually very, very strong. +4 attack and rush means that once it comes down, you can trade with a lot of followers on the board. And 6 attack can remove quite a lot of stuff. Alright? And it does have direct attack, meaning it can attack stand follower. But without the Overflow, it's just a very bad 3-drop. So will this card see play? I don't think so in the next mana, because there ain't much 6 health follower that are a threat, in my opinion. So, and furthermore, unless you're playing a full RAM deck, I don't see this being played. So very unlikely people will be playing this card. But compared to Serpent Wrath, I think Serpent Wrath will be much better with the draw 1. Yeah, so that's about it for this card. Next, Hammer Dragon Nuke. So the Evolve does face damage, which is very, very good. 2 damage to all enemy leader. Fit into the archetype of playing very aggressively. The problem is that, the specifics, the searcher is very specific. You have to find an arm spell. You can't get any other dragon spell. Which I think currently in the meta there's only 2 spell or 3 spell that is I can't remember, but they ain't much targets, and there's even lesser good targets. Yeah, so that's the only con I have with this card. But to be honest, the face damage is more than enough to justify this card as a 3. Yeah. Next, Draconic Smash. Your staple remover for almost every archetype. Summons a Draconic weapon. Yeah, that's about it. Definitely, it will definitely see play and it's quick as well. Yeah. Next, Elder Tortoise. So it does something that Olivia was unique to, which is a evolve point setup. But okay, so for Olivia, right, the evolve point setup is needed for Daria and Leonidas only. And this begs the question: why would Dragon want evolve point? And Olivia in Dragon wasn't really played for the evolve point. It was more played for the draw and discard to fight against control deck. And my question to you is, why gain evolve point when you can gain additional play point? Yeah, so Dragon right now doesn't really need the evolve point because an additional play point is same as having the evolve point, but better since you can play higher cost card. And it takes one turn to set up for the evolve point, which currently this card is not needed at all. And I don't see this card needed at the next meta as well. Next, Trinity Dragon, 2 mana 3/2, high attack, intimidate. I guess you can see it in aggro deck. The only problem is he has low stats and can be easily removed because of his 2 health. But that's about it. Still can be irritating. I can see it in aggro dragon, but that's about it. Next, Dragon Summoner. So 2 mana 1/3, evolve 1, you check top 3 generic searcher. You can take any Dragoncraft follower, which is very, very good. But my only problem is bad stats. 2 mana 1/3, not the best stats. Evolve 2/4, 2 attack can't really kill anything. Okay, if this play on turn 2 and evolve, you can kill their opponents 2-drop most of the time. But if they have a 3 HP, that's where a Dragon Summoner hits a wall and having an issue. This card is only good in decks that require you to search very specifically for a card, such as Jabberwock. Other than that, I don't think this card will see play. Not even in aggro dragon, because her stat is just too abysmal for aggro deck. So I guess it might see some play, but most of the time I think people will just avoid this card because it also wastes a evolve space for this. Next, Lance Lizard, fucking strong. Pardon me for the bad word, but yeah, very, very strong. 3 mana 3/4, good stats, will stay on the board, and this is one of the better 3/4 that beats all its other 3 mana card in the mana pool. Because first of all, it gains face damage and it has a self buff, making this card very, very snowbally in my opinion. So when you play this card, okay, when you target this card for an effect, it gains +1 attack and deal 1 damage to all enemy leader. So if you have the Draconic weapon, you can just target the Draconic weapon on this card and straight away it gains +1 attack and deal 1 damage to enemy leader. So basically every effect you target this, it kind of deal 2 open close 2 damage, because 1 damage goes to him, 1 damage goes to face. Very, very strong snowball card. And I just want to remind you guys, if the dragon have a buff spell and buff him, buff the attack or something, like, no, okay, imagine Gabriel comes in, Gabriel give +4 +3, he himself will give itself +5 +3 due to the effect. Yeah, so this card is very, very strong. I can see Dragon playing 3 of this for sure. And it's one of those 3 mana cards that really beats all its competitors in the same mana cost card pool. Very, very good. Next. Okay, this is where we come to not a good card. Armor Purge. So 1 mana, you deal 3 damage. It is not a hard removal, it is a soft removal. But you have to put the arm follower from your field into the EX area. Which really begs the question, why? Why would you want to do that? I only can see it in one unique situation where maybe you want to keep a certain card for next turn. But it's still very costly. And at the same time, this doesn't have quick effect. So yeah, this card is just bad. Yeah, just bad. I don't think even Armed Dragon will be playing this card. With that said, that's all for the Dragon class. I'll see you guys next time.